The picture across the EU area, plus the UK, in April is one of cautious optimism. Countries are planning how to emerge from current lockdowns and open up to international travel. The next few weeks will determine how far and fast this can happen and indeed, if it will be uniform across the region. Austria is only allowing entry across its borders to anyone other than Austrian nationals if they come from an EU or Schengen area country, plus the agreed small list of safe countries allowed into the EU, Australia, Iceland, New Zealand, Singapore, South Korea and the Vatican. All arrivals must be in possession of a negative PCR or antigen test result taken no more than 72 hours before arrival into Austria. If they cannot provide a certificate, travelers must take one within 24 hours. Everyone must then go into a 10-day quarantine and can test out after 5 days with another negative test result. Arrivals from EU, Schengen area and the EU's safe list are technically allowed entry to Belgium, but all countries have been color-coded and all of these are currently red. Except for 8 countries which are labeled orange: Denmark, Zealand, Southern Denmark, Central Jutland, North Jutland, Spain, Galicia, Extremadura, Valencian Community, Baleares, Finland, North and East Finland, Åland, Ireland, Northern and Western Ireland, Southern Ireland, Iceland, Italy, Sardinia, Norway, Innlandet, Northern Norway, Adger and Southeastern Norway, Western Norway, Trondelag, and Portugal. The EU's safe country list are currently labeled green: Australia, New Zealand, Rwanda, Singapore, South Korea and Thailand. Anyone traveling from a red country must take a PCR test before departure and it must be negative. If people must travel, they must fill in a public Health Passenger Locator Form 48 hours before arrival. Based on their answers, visitors will receive a test message if they are high risk and need to quarantine for 10 days. If they do, they must take a COVID-19 test on days 1 and day 7. If visitors do not receive a text message, they do not need to quarantine. Answers are based on the ECDC's traffic light system of risk. From the 2nd of February to the 30th of April, Bulgarians and residents of EU, Schengen area countries who arrive in the country, and their families, must take a PCR test before entry or they must go into a 10-day quarantine. Bulgaria does not follow the ECDC's traffic light system and is operating its own list of who is able to come into the country from overseas. Travelers from the following countries are allowed to enter if they are in possession of a negative PCR test taken in the 72 hours prior: Australia, Canada, Georgia, Japan, New Zealand, Rwanda, South Korea, Thailand, Tunisia, Uruguay, United Arab Emirates, the UK, Israel, Belarus, Kuwait, Turkey, Albania, Montenegro, Moldova, Ukraine, North Macedonia, Kosovo and Bosnia and Herzegovina. Travelers arriving from EU, Schengen countries must be in possession of a negative COVID-19 test result upon arrival.